Greetings, humans. I'm Andy, and I'm George, and this is Couscous. Welcome back to the Windmill full of corpses. Right, so, take death. Because of course it is. Okay, so new Fallujah. It's called Kaleidoscopic Waves, and I think they have a new album coming that's called Xenotaph, and it's coming sometime. And I think Fallujah is one of those bands that's had a history a bit like Opeth, where people like their early shit and then not so much their late shit. I think Undying Light was the big disappointment among fans, which is also the first album I heard from them, and I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was cool. I think the one that came after people kind of liked again. Okay. And this one I'm really curious about, because it's kind of weird. Are you ready? No? Okay, they don't muck about. Yeah! Let's go. Nice! Woo! Nice! Go! Oh, big drop. I really like that ending. I really like that whole song. So in typical tech death fashion, it's kind of impossible to pick up on any clear structure. And also we don't need one. They had kaleidoscope effects in the video. Of course they did. It's kaleidoscopic waves. Okay, I think what stands out to me the most is the lead guitars. Yeah, I feel like the way the solos flow and the structure of the melodies actually reminds me more of prog than of tech death. Like, I was looking at him playing and I was thinking that looks like Sam Valen from Caligula's Horse playing. I totally see that, and also the melodic nature of the solos, I can actually see the comparison. Yeah, it's very bendy and like slide heavy. He's moving around a lot, and the tappy stuff too is it's so much more prog. But you know that tech death is usually progressive. Yeah, but the solos don't feel that way. They also feel quite mechanical. It depends on the band. I just thought that was the most interesting thing about the whole thing. I love the drums, of course. It's also that grabbed your attention because it was like the first thing that happened in the song. Boom, solo. Yeah. Drums are really great too, especially when it comes to transitions. Yeah. I feel like not tremolo picking, but there's a lot of like very fast kind of single string riffing, like type of stuff. They have a lot of that. They give this drilling effect, and it makes a really cool dynamic of how they bring that in, and then everything's like running, and it's like the band is in unison going forward, and then a more melodic part comes up and everything spaces out, and you get that more fluid, wobbly bass in the background, like you got halfway through the main solo, because you had like an opening solo when the song started, and then you had like a big solo, and halfway through you just had that pause and the screen turns black, and then it switches to melodic and breezy and like that, and the solo gets a lot more chill, and then you also get the bass coming through. So you have that variation of like atmospheric and then just flat out blasting. It's just making the song really, really interesting and really unpredictable. And you get the same thing with the vocals, because you get clean vocals, which doesn't happen a lot in tech death. I like that they can do clean vocal parts and just overall clean parts that are like still very technical. Like you can see the instrumental noodling and you can still see the drums moving around like mad, but it's all kind of toned down, right? Yeah, so just by, I guess, production and by what effects they used on the instruments and all that. And their singer looks like Discount Nicolas Cage. Discount Nicolas Cage? Yes. You decided? Yes. I mean, look at the person. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I think it's probably some of the most accessible tech death I've heard in a while, which is probably why it's on a big label like Nuclear Blast instead of, what was that label called? The Artisan Era, or there was another Unique Leader, or stuff like that. I mean, I think Unique Leader is pretty big, especially for this genre. Yeah, but it is very tailored to this genre, is what I'm saying. Nuclear Blast is like one of the biggest. And I can't think of many tech death bands that actually make it to like big labels like this. Deathcore is more likely to lately because it's getting popular, but tech death not so much. Yeah, so I'm really happy about this. Fallujah are a phenomenon. That's a good point. Are we done here? No. So if you enjoyed this reaction, we'd greatly appreciate the likes and shares. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe with bells on. Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon. Corpse is out.